Hello. So find a comfortable seat. And then just give yourself some moments. So wherever you're seated, just close your eyes and try and forget for a moment where you are and try and connect with each other virtually in this space. So you can close your eyes and begin to notice your breath. So taking a nice long inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, deep inhale and out through the mouth. And one more time, deep inhale and let it go. We'll do 3 M's all together. And the mantra for purification all together. Om pavitraha pavitrava sarva vashtangato biva yahas marit pancham sabahya vintraha suchihi. Namaste. So that opens up our practice. Thank you again to everyone who has tuned into my first ever live Zoom Dharma Yoga class. And I was really debating about when and how to do this when I found out that Oslo and the studios were going to be locked down again. And for those of you that don't know, my background is actually in project management and digital marketing. So back in the old days when I used to read a lot of these productivity books, there's an analogy that really stuck in my head. And it's called eating your frogs. Has anyone heard of this? So the idea about eating your frogs first thing in the morning is that, for people like me that are really terrified and grossed out by frogs, it's about getting the hardest thing that you're procrastinating out of the way first, so that the rest of your day or the rest of your week is much easier. So when I was sitting at home on Wednesday or Thursday night trying to figure out whether to let you all know I'm doing this or not, I was like, just eat your frog, just get it over and done with. So I'm glad that I did it, because it's so nice that you all could tune in from home. And I just wanted to kind of plant that analogy of eating your frog, because I think, the same analogy can apply, for example, to our yoga practice. There's certain postures, I think, for different people that represent their frogs in their yoga practice. I know, for example, like handstanding is my frog in yoga, Or when I've got some aches in my back, it's like, okay, I really don't want to go that deep into my back bends, or I don't really feel like working on that today because I'm feeling really lazy. But applying the eat your frog theory kind of works when you want to give yourself that extra push and tapas in your practice. And it's the same thing also, I think we can apply it to life. It doesn't need to be about eating your frog first thing in the morning just for today. It's about, what is that one thing, maybe it's a project or a dream of yours that you've had niggling in the back of your head. Maybe it's a book that you've been dying to read, or a friend that you've been meaning to see, or an apology that you've been meaning to make. There's a lot of different ways to think about the frogs in our life. So just try and kind of reflect on that during our practice today. Like, what are your frogs in your personal life, in your work life, in your yoga practice that you maybe want to overcome? And sometimes it's that fear of starting that holds us back at the beginning. But once you just push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, you feel so fulfilled afterwards, and encouraged by the fact that you've made that first step. You'll notice that I have this picture of my daughter up here on the wall. I left that there because I thought it was quite funny, because in some respects, she is my real guru. I was going to put up a nice little yoga poster, but my daughter Maya, for those of us that are caretakers or have children or other people to take care of, I think you'll agree that oftentimes having little ones and a family oftentimes is the best way to really practice the ethical parts of our yoga practice, the yamas, the niyamas, the patience, the dedication, the constant forgiveness. So apart from thinking of your frogs, just think about, what your gurus and what your teachers might look like, and then hold that really close to your heart. So before I waffle on past the hour, I'm going to let that sink in. And if you can now put yourselves on mute if you haven't already, because we're going to start the physical part of our practice. And if you can just find yourself in a comfortable child's pose. So feel free to take a moment if you wish to put on some music, one of the playlists. Just get yourself settled and find yourself into child's pose. And as you're lying here in balasana and child's pose, and just allow yourself to take a few nice, long, deep breaths. Feel your foreheads being massaged by the floor. And with every exhale, allowing your body to sink deeper into your mats. If you haven't already activated your Ujjayi breath, your yogi breath, begin to take those nice long inhales and exhales now, in and out through the nose. And then from here, press your hands to the floor, tuck your toes, lift your knees, press into downward facing dog. Your first downward dog for today, feel free to bend your knees one at a time. Maybe shaking up the hips. Just make all those natural movements that you feel your body wants to make. And then slowly walking forward to the top of your mat. And rolling up. Then bringing your hands to prayer in front of the heart. So from here, you can take a moment to offer up your practice Try and dedicate your practice to someone or something other than yourself, and it will make your practice more powerful. So we'll begin with one sun salutation, blinking the eyes open, inhaling your arms up and over your head. And as you exhale, fold. Right foot back, right knee down. Left foot back to high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Cobra, inhale. Downward exhale. Right foot forward, left knee down. Left foot forward. All the way up. Hands to prayer. Other side, arms up, inhale. Exhaling, fold. Left foot back. Right foot. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Cobra, inhale. Downward exhale. Left foot forward. Right foot forward. All the way up. Hands to prayer. And now Shiva Namaskara, arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stay here in your forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you have to rest your chest on your thighs. Good, so allow your head, your upper body to dangle towards the floor, nodding your head forwards and back, side to side. Just using gravity to lengthen yourself all the way down to the floor. Good. Now plant your hands on either side of your feet. Giant step the right foot back, right knee down. Arms up, inhale, Kapyasana, crescent moon pose. So with every inhale, feel the front half of your body extend. With every exhale, your hips, your pelvis sink closer to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening up, Sukha Trikonasana, easy triangle pose. Bring your right foot out to the side. Inhale your arms, warrior 2 arms. Exhale, left hand down inside the left foot, right arm up, lean back. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, both hands down to the floor, step back, high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, bending the elbows. Upward facing, thighs off the floor. Exhale, downward facing. So when you're in your downward dog, Dharma likes to say, copy me and bounce your head like this. So really tuck your chin to your chest, exaggerate the bounce, and imagine like one day the very top of your head will be able to rest on the floor. And now prepare to do the same thing on the other side. Giant step the right foot forward, left knee down. Arms up, inhale. Again, with every exhale, feel that stretch in your hip, your left thigh, trying to sink your pelvis towards the floor. And that's called crescent moon pose because you're trying to make your body as close to the shape of a crescent moon, a thumbnail, as you can. Keep breathing. Slowly release, Sukha Trikonasana on this side, facing the left side of your mat. Spin the back heel out. Inhale your arms apart. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up, look up, lean back. Three, 2, 1. Slowly release, both hands down to the floor. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing, thighs off the floor. Exhale, downward facing.
Take 3 nice long deep breaths here. And preparing to move through the warrior poses. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, arms up, inhale. So in Virabhadrasana 1, both of your hips are facing the front of your mat. Your back heel is flat on the floor, trying to get your front thigh as parallel to the ground as you can. Good. Strong arms, strong legs. 3, 2, 1. Opening up a warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, facing the right side of your mat. Now look down at your legs. Try and align your front knee with your hip. So use your hands to guide yourself as open as you can. Spread your arms to relax the shoulders. Look towards the front of your hand. 3, 2, 1. Pull your left hand forward and down. Utthita Parshva Konasana, extended side angle pose. Raise your right arm into the air. Straight line from your top hand all the way to the bottom, or reach your right hand all the way to the top of your mat. Whole right side of the body stretches. If you know how to bind, bring your left arm under your left leg. Try and grab your right hand, right wrist behind your back. Relax your top shoulder for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, cartwheel both hands to the floor. Back knee on the floor. So you're trying to find this nice box shape between your legs. Left hand on your left hip. Inhale the right arm up, prepare for the twist. As you exhale, right elbow over the left knee. Hands in prayer, pull it towards the hips. You can stay here with your knee on the floor or pick your back knee up off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release lizard pose. Both hands down inside of your front foot. Feel free to move your front foot out to the side a bit so your hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Rock forwards and back on the spot to prepare. And then lower your back knee. Point the back foot like the tail of a lizard. Inhale, shoulders back. Feel that stretch from your belly all the way through your chest, your neck, your forehead. You can stay here on your hands or come all the way down to the floor. So if your forearms are on the floor, try and align your forearm with your front foot. Notice how they're almost the same size. You can keep your forearms here. If you know how to bring your elbows to the side, you can do it like this. Or both arms all the way out, resting your forehead down. Taking one more breath. And bringing your hands back underneath the shoulders. Gracefully step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Flowing through to downward facing dog. Then taking 3 nice long deep breaths. Preparing to do the same sequence on the other side. Inhale, lift the right leg up. As you exhale, right foot forward. Virabhadrasana 1, arms up. Again, find the strength in your back leg, back foot flat on the floor. Try and get that front thigh parallel to the floor. 3, 2, 1. Opening up warrior 2, facing the left side. Again, notice the hips. Try and lengthen the thigh. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Look forward. Steady gaze. 3, 2, 1. Pull the right hand forward and down. Left arm up. Utthita Parshva Konasana, extended side angle. You can stay here with your left hand up. Or bring your left arm all the way to the top of your mat, stretching the whole left side of your body. Bind if you have the bind. So now you can see what it looks like from the back. You're trying to grab your hands or your left wrist, pulling your left shoulder away from the ear, using the bind you created with your arms to push the butt, the hips forward, finding your alignment for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Both hands down, left knee down. Right hand, right hip, inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, twisting to the right side, hands in prayer, pull it towards the hips. Good. So with every exhale, you're trying to twist the belly deeper into the thigh. You can stay here or lift your back knee off the floor. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, lizard pose. Both hands down inside of the front foot. Make sure your hands are directly underneath the shoulders, rocking forwards and back to prepare. And then lower your back knee down, point the back foot. Inhale, shoulders back. So stand on your very fingertips if you have to. Try and find that upward facing dog feeling in your back. So not like this, like this. Keep hugging your front knee close to the side of your body. Try and do the same variation you did as the first side. So stay on your hands or come all the way down to the floor. And then slowly release, bringing your hands underneath the shoulders, gracefully stepping back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing, thighs off the floor. Exhale, downward facing. Preparing to do the second Kapyasana. Inhale, lift the left leg up. As you exhale, step the left foot forward, right knee down again, arms up, lean back. So in your second Kapyasana on this side, feel free to do any variations you know. So for some of you, it's enough practice to just help finding the depth in the pose. If you know how to add in the bind and you know how to do mermaid pose, left hand on the left knee, right hand reaches back for your right foot. Squeeze the thigh. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here trying to slide your foot into the elbow, hands behind your head, and then looking forward. Keep breathing. And slowly release, hands down, high plank, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. Flowing through the downward facing. Same thing on the other side, lift the right leg up. Exhale, step forward, left knee down, point the back foot, arms up, inhale, lean back. So set up your pose first. Maybe you're here rocking backwards and forwards. Maybe you're here opening up to the left side. Maybe you're here grabbing your left foot, right arm up. Maybe you're here. Hold it there. So for those of you that are trying to bind at home, it's easier if you try and grab your foot from the inside where your big toe is, so your thumb is pointing up. Yeah, hi Clara, just like that. Hi Tita. So now we have people all around Norway, the Philippines, and New York joining in. This is really cool. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release the bind, both hands down. Step forward, Uttanasana. So again, bend your knees as much as you have to rest your chest on your thighs. And then you can wrap your arms behind your legs, grab opposite elbows. And then try and use your own weight to push your legs straighter, forehead dropping towards your shins. And then heel toe your feet together. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, hands to your heart, close your eyes, catch your breath. And then slowly release the hands. How's everyone doing? Good. So in a Dharma Yoga class, the first half is vinyasa flow. And now the second half of the class, we're going to hold the poses a little longer. So we'll give you a chance to go deeper into the poses. And at this point, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. So we're going to start with Vrikshasana, standard tree pose on the left foot first. So find your steady balance. Shifting your weight onto the left leg. Your right foot presses into the inner left thigh. So really try and dig your right heel, your right toes into your thigh, pressing each other, giving yourself a little massage in the legs. Hands to prayer. So find your drishti, your focus on a point in front of you that's not moving. Steady your breath. Begin to lift your arms up. Grow long in the left side of your body. Then maybe opening your arms out to the side like the branches of a tree. With control, no rush, bringing your hands back to prayer in front of the heart. Releasing the arms, releasing the legs, shake it out. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, shifting your weight onto your right foot, your right leg, left foot presses into the inner right thigh. So the more you press them together, the more you press your hands together, the easier it is to balance. Relax your shoulders, relax your breath. Begin to raise the arms into the air. Grow long in the right side of your body. Open up your arms. Stretch out your fingers. Find stillness in the pose. And without rushing, bringing your hands back to prayer in front of the heart. Release the arms, release the legs, shake it out. So the next pose we're going to do is Utkatasana, chair pose. So I want you to imagine like you're sitting down like this on a chair. I promise I'm not sitting on my couch. So sit down on your imaginary chair. Raise your arms up into the air, squeeze the thighs, the knees together, suck in the belly. Good, even deeper. Even deeper. Even deeper. And if this isn't challenging enough for you, try and lift your heels off the floor. Keep squeezing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release Uttanasana, fold over. Now walk halfway down your mat. So come into yogi squat malasana pose. So you're using your elbows to separate the knees, hands in prayer in front of the heart. So try and sit up tall, relax your shoulders, and close your eyes. And slowly blinking the eyes open. So for your next pose, you're basically doing this shape, but on your hands. So this is the arm balance part of class, Bakasana crow pose. So those of you that already know how to go into your crow pose practice, come up now and try and hold it there for 8 to 10 long breaths. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, follow my instructions. So you start in Malasana frog pose. Your hands, slap it down on the floor. So I like to say, slap it down on the floor to wake up your hands. You want them to, not small, lazy hands, but wide, active hands. So your hands are going to be on the floor. Your head is going to go forward. Your knees are going to go in. Your toes are going to point back. Head forward, knees in, lift the toes. Super point your toes. So not like this. Don't flex your feet because that will pull your weight back down to the floor. When you're doing Bakasana, the most important thing is head forward, squeeze the knees in against your shoulders, head forward, knees in, point your right foot. Super point your right foot like a ballerina. Then head forward, knees in, super point, try and lift your left foot, try and slap your toes together. Good, super point your left toes. The more you point, the easier it is to stay up. Try holding it there. I'll come around and check. Good, Clara. So we have to, when we're doing these arm balances, our bottom half of the body, our hips, our butt, our legs, they're really heavy. So you have to use the weight of your brain, your head, to balance out. So keep pulling your head forward, squeeze the knees in, super point your foot back. Like really curl your toes. Yeah, the more you curl your toes, the easier it is to balance. Keep squeezing your legs in. Strong arms, like you're doing plank pose. So even if you fall, don't worry about it. I'll show you what happens if you fall gracefully with control. You just fall into another pose. So when you're practicing your crow pose, your Bakasana at home, maybe you're here and you're trying to tip forward. So if you do feel like you're falling over, just tuck your chin. Then you're in teddy bear pose. And this is another really good one to practice where your head stands. Because then you can go here. And then come back down. Does anyone have any questions? Let's see. I'll give you another 20 seconds. Hey, Semyon. So keep practicing. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, you can press yourself into child's pose. Take a moment there. So from your child's pose, slide forward onto your belly. Inhale, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So make sure, like a snake, it only has one tail, so your feet are together. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows squeezing in. And pressing back down to child's pose. And then lifting up to sit on top of your knees. So we're going to warm up and open up the shoulders. So sitting down on top of your heels, inhale your right arm up. Then you can use your left hand to hold your right elbow down. Try and slide your right hand down your back. Feel free to do a little side stretching here if that feels good. And if you're able to bind, try and grab your hand, your strap, or your shirt behind your back. So you might look like this, like this, like this. Or if you have a strap handy like this. And use your head so that you're not hunching to really sit up tall. And then close your eyes. And then slowly release, preparing to switch sides. So this time your left arm comes up, inhale. Then use your right hand to guide and hold your left elbow in place. So again, you're using your head to press your elbow back, sit up tall. Then feel free to do some side stretching here. And then go for the bind, whichever way you did it on the first side. And then close your eyes. Then slowly release. Shake out the arms. So for this next part of class, now that we've warmed up our shoulders, we're going to practice Shirshasana, our inversion practice. So if you already have a regular headstand practice, any arm variation you know, don't waste time, just go straight into it, do your practice. Once you're upside down, I'll give you some variations you can play with. Those of you that are still early to your headstand practice, I'll guide you through it and feel free to stop at any part of the sequence that you feel is enough. So the most important thing when you're doing your headstand practice is you're going to bring your forearms down to the floor, just like this. This is traditional arm variation. You're going to interlace your fingers and create a helmet around your head. So the most important thing is your arms are not wide like this. You want a really snug helmet. So you're protecting the sides of your head and your elbows are underneath the shoulders. The very top of your head is going to go on the floor, pressing the back of your head into your hands. So maybe getting used to putting some weight on the top of your head first. Maybe being able to lift your knees off the floor, downward dog position. Try and tiptoe your feet as close to your face as you can until you begin to feel light, almost like you can stand on the very, very tiptoes. Then you can bend one knee up into the air. And then you're still practicing standing on the very tiptoes of your bottom foot until you feel light. And maybe eventually, both of your feet come up. Maybe your knees come up. Then maybe your feet come up. Once you're upside down, keep pointing your feet, squeezing the hip bones, the knees, the ankles together, the heels together. You can stay here with your legs straight or open up your legs to the side. Maybe you want to bring the soles of your feet together. If you know how to split your legs apart, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And the other foot. Then using the rest of the time to play around with the pose whenever you're finished. You can rest into balasana, child's pose. Stay wherever you are for a few more breaths, either in child's pose or practicing. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. I'm here to listen. Otherwise, keep practicing. Use a wall if you need a wall. When you're upside down, remember to exhale. Focus on your exhales. That will help tighten up your core. Good. Keep shifting your weight forward, standing on the very tiptoes. Just try and lift 1 foot, 1 knee to your shoulders. Strong arms. Yeah, nice. Good. Keep pointing your toes. Good. And then if you're halfway up, try and lift just your knees. Don't worry about your feet. Just try and lift your knees. Drop your feet towards your hips. Yeah. Keep squeezing the thighs, the knees in. Good. Just try and be as tall as your knees. And then eventually imagine someone's pulling your toes all the way up into the air. Yeah, good. Keep squeezing the hip bones, the knees, the feet, strong arms, strong exhales. Good. Try and feel light in your legs. Nice. Holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Come down to child's pose if you're not there already. Catch your breath. And from here, sliding forward again to Bhujangasana, inhaling up. Then exhaling, downward facing dog. So on a count of 3, you're going to replace your hands with your feet just like this. 1, 2, 3. So your turn. 1, 2, 3. Hop forward. Come into this variation, this Michael Jackson variation of Utkatasana, chair pose. So really shake out your arms, shake out your fingers. Try and shake out any tension, any negative energy, negative thoughts, negative feelings inside of yourself. Just shake it all out. And then using momentum, you're going to sit all the way down and then rock all the way up into your version of Sharvangasana, shoulder stand. So using your hands to support your hips, squeezing your elbows, your shoulders together. Try and bring yourself as straight as possible. And close your eyes. And then dropping your feet over your head into Halasana plow pose. So if your feet don't quite reach the floor like this, just bend your knees and rest them on your forehead. to come out of the pose. Straighten your arms, press your hands to the floor, and slowly uncurl yourself. Once your hips touch the floor, rock up into Navasana, boat pose. So find yourself in this position. Your knees are bent or straight. Wherever you are, release the hands. Begin to breathe really quickly in and out through the nose like a sniffing dog, Bhastrika breathing. Keep going for 5, as fast as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, feet down. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So in Dharma Yoga, when we do Paschimottanasana, it's not about stretching the back of your legs, it's about lengthening your spine. So just like we did in Uttanasana, standing up, I want you to pull your knees close to your chest first, so you can rest on top of your thighs. Flex your feet, pull your toes towards your hips. Grab the sides of your feet. So keep pulling against your feet so your spine is nice and long. Begin to tiptoe your feet forward. So when you feel like you're starting to round your back like this, I want you to pull again against the feet so your spine straightens. So I'd rather you're here with your knees bent, spine nice and straight, instead of trying to straighten your legs like this. So aim for this position and then try and drop your forehead towards your legs. And then slowly release, pulling yourself up. Bring your hands behind your hips, fingers pointing forward. Purvottanasana, tabletop pose. So gas pedal your feet down, lift the hips, arms straight. If you have issues with your neck, keep tucking your chin to your chest. Otherwise, try and look at the wall behind you. And then again, Bhastrika breathing really quickly in and out through the nose. Keep going for 5, 4, as fast as you can. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Bring your hips down towards the floor. So now we do the leg cradles. So this is sort of like a seated version of pigeon pose. You're aiming to stretch out the hips and the glutes. So first you're going to try and pick up your right foot with your hands and bring your right foot, if you can, into your left elbow crease. So really press your left foot, if you can, into your upper arm. Interlace fingers, sit up tall. And imagine like you're rocking a baby or your favorite thing in between your arms. If you want to open up the hip a little bit more, feel free to grab your right foot with both hands. And you can make big circles. First one way, and then the other way. And then slowly release your right foot down, left leg stretches straight. So Marichyasana. So inhaling the right arm up. As you exhale, fold in between the legs. Try and grab your left hand, left wrist behind your back, and watch what happens to my front knee. So try not to let it fall to the side like this. Use the bind to squeeze your knee, your leg closer to the side of your body. Flex your left foot. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold over. Try and touch your forehead towards your leg. Tuck your chin to the chest. And then slowly release, inhaling back up.
Shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. And then preparing to switch sides. So crossing your legs, and this time bringing your left foot into your right elbow crease. And then again, trying to use your foot to massage your upper arm, rocking it side to side. So you may already begin to feel this in your glute, in your hip. And again, if you want more of an opening in your hip, feel free to grab your foot with both hands. And again, create really big circles one way. And then the other way. And then preparing to go for Marichyasana on this side. Lower your left foot down, right leg goes straight. Your left knee straight up into the air. Inhale your left arm up. As you exhale, fold over, really squeeze the air out of your belly. Try and grab your hand, your wrist behind your back. And again, use the bind, the wrap that you've created with your arms to hug this left knee close to the side of your body. Inhale for length. As you exhale, fold over.
And then slowly release.
Shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. So we're going to move towards our back bends now. And we're going to start with a simple Ustrasana, camel pose first. So I want you to sit towards the front of your mat, the top of your mat, on your knees. And try and make sure that your shoulders are over your hips, over your knees. Use your hands to support your lower back. So I like to use my thumbs to massage the little dimples in my lower back. Really grab your hip bones. Pull your elbows close together. Inhale, puff the chest, roll your shoulders back. Squeeze your butt a little bit to protect your lower back. Keep pushing your hips forward, using your hands to protect yourself. And you can either stay here. Again, if you have issues with the neck, you can just keep tucking your chin to the chest. If your neck is okay and you wish to go deeper, feel free to drop your hands towards your heels. And then try and look at the wall behind you. So come out of the pose, bring your hands to your lower back, tuck your chin to the chest, and then press down into Balasana, child's pose. Second set, rise up, cross your ankles, and then just swing your legs forward, lie down on your back. So we're going to work towards bridge pose and then full Urdhva Dhanurasana, full upward facing bow. So once you lie down on the floor, bend your knees and pull your feet as close to your hips as you can. So you can almost tickle your heels. So on the count of 3, we're going to lift our hips off the floor. 1, 2, 3, all the way up. Good. So try and feel that stretch in your thighs and try to move your upper chest towards your chin. So options with your hands, you can support your lower back like this to lift up higher. You can interlace your fingers, rolling your shoulder blades closer together. And then for some of us,
Your heels may be accessible, so you can use your hands, really grab onto your ankles. Pull yourself deeper, lift up higher. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release hips to the ground. Neutralize your neck. Bring your feet about as wide as your mat, and then just start to drop one knee towards the middle, then the other. Taking turns, switching sides. And then preparing for a third back bend, full Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel pose. So again, bending your knees, pulling your feet close to the hips. And if you're practicing full wheel pose, hands, bring it next to your ears, fingers pointing away from you, elbows close to your head. And then roll onto the top of your head, stay there first. Don't move, we'll come up all together. So on a count of 3, we'll push all the way up. 1, 2, 3. All the way up, strong arms, strong legs. Good. Adjust your feet. Try and move your chest, your head through your arms. So really feel the stretch in your armpits. So you can stay here practicing and opening the whole front half of your body. If you know any variations, feel free to play with the pose. So if you want to shift weight to your right side, lift your left foot, left leg up into the air. Then other side. Then lift your right foot. And if you're still upside down, trying to grab your right hip, slap your right hip with your right hand. Left hand. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To come out of the pose, lower your head down, tuck your chin to the chest. And allow your knees to drop towards each other. Release your breath. So again, you can drop one knee towards the middle and then the other. Feel free to curl yourself into a really tight ball, rock side to side. And then rocking forwards and back, using the floor to massage your back. Then rocking yourselves all the way up to sit. Preparing for the final twists. So you're going to bring your left knee down, your right foot over your left knee, and then your right hand supporting your lower back. Inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, twisting to the right side, looking over your right shoulder. And then preparing to switch sides. So do a little counter twist. And then this time bring your right knee to the floor. Your left foot over your right knee. Your left hand supports your back. Inhale the right arm up to stretch. And as you exhale, right elbow over the left knee, twisting to the left side. Trying to twist your belly into the thigh, look over your left shoulder. Then slowly release, giving yourself a little counter twist. Then releasing the arms, releasing the legs. So before we move into the final Shavasana, since we were talking a little bit about eating our frogs, I want you to use this last minute or two of class. Feel free to do any pose that your body is craving. So if you want to do another back bend, another twist, another hip opener, forward fold, just listen to your body. If you want to practice another inversion because you have more energy, just eat your frog. Do that one thing that you've kind of been putting aside. And then once your 90 seconds are up, I'll cue you into Shavasana. You have 30 more seconds to finish off whatever it is that you're doing. And then if you wish to set yourself up for Shavasana, feel free to do that now. So if you feel like putting on some socks or a sweater, if you wish to switch your playlist, if you're playing music, to something that's more appropriate for Shavasana and the final pranayama, you can do that now. And just in your own time, find yourself lying completely flat on the floor, preparing for some guided deep relaxation. So if you're not sure, if you're listening to music and you're not sure what to put on my Spotify, there's a playlist called Shavasana and you can just pick one of the tracks there. We'll be lying completely still for about 8 minutes or so. So try not to move during this time. Allow yourself to take up as much space as you need. Let your palms face up. So as you're lying here on the floor with your eyes closed, I want you to take a nice big inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, deep inhale. And one more time, deep inhale. And let everything go. So I'll begin by calling out each part of your body one by one. And as I do that, I want you to allow that part of yourself to completely relax. So bringing your awareness now into your left hand. Try and relax your left hand completely. Your left wrist. Left elbow. And your left shoulder. Whole left arm completely relaxed. Now relaxing your right hand. Wrist. Elbow. Shoulder. Whole right arm completely relaxed. Relax both of the feet. Ankles. Knees. Hips. Entire lower half of your body completely relaxed. Feel the back sinking deeper into the floor. Allow the belly to stay loose. Let your chest feel light. Relaxing the throat. All the muscles on your face completely relaxed. Begin to bring your awareness inside. And perhaps taking a moment to give thanks for your practice. Begin to deepen your breath. Wriggling your fingers and your toes. Making small movements. And on your next inhale, give yourself a nice long stretch. As you exhale, hugging your knees to your chest. Slowly rolling over to the right hand side for fetal position. Give yourselves a moment here. And whenever you're ready, pushing yourselves up the sits, facing the front of your mats, preparing for the final pranayama practice, just a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. So I'm going to move a little closer so you can see the hand positioning. But you'll sit with your legs crossed and your left hand rested on your left knee. Your right thumb will block your right nostril. You bend the next two fingers and your right ring finger will block the left. So you're going to inhale through the left side first for 6, then hold your nose closed for 4, and then exhale through the right side for 6. And then inhale through the right side for 6, hold your nose closed for 4, and then back out through the left side for 6. So in alternate nostril breathing, it's like you're flossing your nostrils with your breath. So in left, out right, in right, out left. That's one set, and we'll do it a few times. So to begin, exhale completely. Through the left side, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. You can tuck your chin to the chest. 3, 4. Release. Right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In left. Hold. Apply the locks if you know them. Out right. In. Hold. Out left. In. Hold. Out right. In. Hold. Out left. Do one more set on your own, starting and ending with the left side.
Out completely through the left. Keep your eyes closed, release your hands and your knees. And resume normal breathing. Bringing your hands to prayer in front of the heart. May we all find the strength and courage to eat our frogs, to find that tapas, that angry determination, to do what we have to do to progress with our practice, to keep working on ourselves, and to keep sharing the benefits of our practice with others. Really, really thank you all for logging in today and joining me online. I hope you enjoyed it. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.